Prison breaks, missions to Mars, all that coming up on this week's episode of the Theme Park Hipster Show. Hey, Theme Park Hipsters, it's your host, NikkyJ, the owner of ThemeParkHipster.com, where I help you plan the best solo theme park vacation with the latest tips, reviews, personal stories, and more. Today, I have a special episode for you, and I know you're like, prisons and mission to Mars, how does that even go together? Yes, today we are going over escape rooms here in Orlando, and I know you're like, what is an escape room? But before we get to that, I just wanted to let you guys know why I've been on a hiatus for a couple of weeks now. We have actually moved right behind the Magic Kingdom, so if you know how moving goes, it's kind of stressful and you have to kind of get things back in order, get your daily life back in a routine. But in the midst of all that, I get to watch fireworks every night. So that's the great thing. And if you're interested in hearing about the whole moving process to Disney and you want to have a whole podcast episode or video or blog post dedicated just for that, please let me know. You can do that by hitting me up at themeparkhipster@gmail.com. Now, today I am going to go over the beginner's guide to doing an escape room, especially one here in Orlando, Florida. I had the opportunity to partner up with the Escape Game in Orlando. That's an actual company. They're called the Escape Game. And they specialize in having some of the most unique and intense escape rooms here in the Central Florida area. So you're probably thinking, what exactly is an escape room? In case you don't know, an escape room is like a physical and psychological quest where you have to solve a series of puzzles in order to complete a mission of the game. You are then joined with other people. Either you come with your whole team or you can join other people on a team in a quest. And you guys are usually put into a themed room for an hour and you have to complete that mission. Most escape rooms, they have different missions and things for you to accomplish throughout the game. And over at the Escape Game, it's no different. There are currently 6 games that they offer, which we're going to go over later in the show. And those 6 games, they usually have a variety of different themes, like from escaping from prison and different difficulties based on how well and how good you are with performing some of the puzzles and all the clues that they have for it. I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know if it's pleasantly, but I was very surprised at how competitive I was during the game. And my husband joined me on there, and it was kind of like, it was not what we expected, but it was better than what we expected. So we'll get through all that today. So why must you go to an escape room? First of all, a good escape room is absolute sensory overload. It's here where you'll be placed in these thrilling, lifelike situations that make you feel as if you're in some sort of like dire circumstance. Meaning, guys, you really feel like you are stuck in that prison cell. Or as for me, when I did the Mission Mars quest, I felt like, oh my God, we're about to die. We didn't get our oxygen level together. Our power didn't come up and we're about to die. We're never going to return to Earth. It's really that serious. When you're in there, it's so intense. So if you're not into roller coasters or anything like that, this is the perfect rush and the perfect thing that you can do in Orlando. Besides theme parks, that is a pretty decent price. This usually starts at around $36, $36.99. But, you know, you can always get some specials on Groupon. Always check Groupon. That's, you know how I am. Check Groupon. As I was in the escape room and I was kind of getting all immersed into it, I was thinking, wouldn't this be a good attraction at Halloween Horror Nights? If they did an escape room with the Halloween Horror Nights feel? I don't know. Just something I was thinking about. One of the questions that I noticed that people ask a lot is, how many people can be in a room? Over at the Escape Game on International Drive, they have rooms that hold a maximum of 7 players all the way to 12 players. So be sure to contact them first and see if they have any rooms that'll be big enough to fit your party if you're not going solo and you want to do it with like friends and family. Now, let's get into the good stuff, which are the different missions that they have at the Escape Game. When I went there were 6 options, as I mentioned, that you could choose from. The first one was Prison Break, and this is where you are accused of a crime and sentenced to life in prison. You have to figure out what happened to the inmate before you and why he mysteriously died, and that is your whole mission. and you have to get out of there before you're next. This difficulty level is 9 out of 10. The next mission is called Gold Rush, and this is one of the fan favorites. Here you have to find gold left by a greedy gold prospector who loves to gamble, and you have to make sure that you grab that gold first before, the mob catches you. So that's your whole mission there, and the difficulty of Gold Rush is a 7 out of 10. The next mission that you have is called the Heist, and here you will have to recover the painting and get away fast before you are caught. When I looked at the images online, this looks so intense. I have to go back because I have to finish all these, but this one looked like so much fun. And the difficulty here is 8 out of 10. The next mission, which I did, was called Mission Mars. And for 1 hour, you have to repair your ship, leave Mars before you're left there to possibly die. Most likely you're going to die. But that's the whole mission there. And let me tell you, you feel like you're really about to die, especially when that timer is counting down them last 10 seconds. You're like, no, I failed. But anyways, that's the fourth mission. The fifth mission that they have is called Special Ops Mystery Market. This is where your routine investigation quickly makes an unexpected turn, and it's up to you to uncover the truth. Now, this one is a difficulty level of 8 out of 10. And if I didn't mention it for Mission Mars difficulty level is 8 out of 10 also. The last and final mission is called The Playground. And here you have to pass a special group project. And this one is actually named the Best Escape Game Room. So definitely try this one if you've never done an escape room. It's a great beginner room and mission. And this difficulty is at a 6 out of 10. Now, you may have been noticing that I've been talking about difficulty levels of each room. When planning your first trip, it's good to know what the different levels of difficulty are. At a beginner's level, this room can easily be completed if you're good at solving puzzles. It's perfect for guests who are 12 years of age or older. The middle level, the escape rooms can be challenging, but it's still doable, which is what I was doing with the Mission Mars, but we still lost because, yeah, it's our first time. We should have did more of a easier one, but we'll talk about that later. And this one, the middle level, is good for people who are 16 years of age or older. Now, there's the advanced level, and this room is filled with difficult puzzles and challenges that works best with people who are 16 years of age or older, but it's just basically the more difficult the challenges, the more you have to kind of use your brain and kind of think about different scenarios and puzzles. And you kind of got to think really outside the box. Now, before we go, I want to go over 7 tips that you can do when you're doing your first escape room, because I went there and I kind of knew a little bit about escape rooms, but I didn't know really what to expect. So when I went there, these are the tips that I came up with. The first tip is that you're going to want to arrive early. Not that you're not going to get your spot, but you should arrive at least 15 minutes before your mission. That way you can sign in and you can ask the team members there any kind of questions or concerns that you may have, especially if you're kind of nervous. You want to make sure that, you'll be able to get out. You'll be able to escape. Tip number 2 is to be prepared to be grouped with strangers. If you're a party of one, like us solo travelers, or maybe you're going as a couple and it's just 2, most likely you're going to be put with somebody. As I said, these rooms usually have a capacity of at least 7 to 12, and the company, they're usually going to try to maximize the space and the time. That way each room is filled. That way you can have like a really good team. You guys can solve the puzzle. If you want to avoid being grouped with strangers, then you most likely would want to go with your friends, kind of make it a fun time hanging out, and y'all book a large party together. Tip number 3 is to choose the difficulty level perfect for you. If you're a beginner, then you're definitely going to want to choose the escape room that has an easier level. This will help you get introduced into the world of escape games and will allow you to understand the fundamentals of just how the game works. Once you've done a few, you can increase your level of difficulty until you become a pro. Over at the escape game in Orlando, the rooms are ranked from 1 to 10, but you'll notice that most of the missions here are about 7 to 9. So there you go. You'll know what you're going to be getting when you get there. Tip number 4 is to make it a game night with friends or family. It's best if you come in a group, as I mentioned before, of 6 or more. This will most likely guarantee that you guys will have your own room because it's more fun to do this game with people you know. It will feel more intense when you have your own group of friends out there with you trying to stop a mission together. Plus, this is like family game night on steroids. I mean, welcome to the 21st century where family game night is taken from board games on the living room floor to a mysteriously themed hands-on adventure. Come on, guys. Like, I think I'm obsessed with game rooms now because I don't know, it's something. I did one and because I lost. Tip 5 is to think outside the box. Now, what I learned from doing the escape game in Orlando is that clues are everywhere, even places that you wouldn't even think to look. Seriously, the most obscure places will have clues. So look there. Thinking outside the box will also help you solve puzzles quickly and help you save all the valuable time needed to complete your mission. Tip number 6 is to use your hints wisely. The staff at the escape game will give you 3 vital hints throughout your game to help you progress faster. The hints are helpful and will usually get you to the next step in the puzzle, but be sure to use your hints wisely. I recommend just being really good at thinking about your clues. That way you can save those few hints for the last section of your game. However, if you realize that you've been taking too long on the first couple of puzzles, then go ahead and ask for a clue. Tip number 7 is to work together and have fun. This is one of the best experiences you can do outside of theme parks in Orlando. So don't let the pressure of time get to you. The environment of the room will be intense. Yes, it will. But it's important. It's very important that you and your teammates communicate effectively with each other. Don't go at it alone and think you'll be the winner for getting something right on your own. Like, don't be that person. You need your team if you plan on conquering the missions. Yes, you will be competitive. Yes, it will be intense, but all in all, just have fun and enjoy yourself with your friends and family. Those are my top 7 tips for doing one of the escape rooms here in Orlando for the first time. Now, I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun I had doing the Mission to Mars room at the escape game. I also noticed how many life lessons I was learning as I was going through the game. See, when you're on a space mission and your spaceship is about to explode, you get a sense of urgency. And although you know it's not real, the music and the atmosphere all play a role in the natural reactions that your body has for survival. My body kind of couldn't tell that it wasn't real. And it was at a point where I had to face some of my own shortcomings in order to help my team get through the mission. Well, most of the mission. One of the things I had to conquer in this game was the ability to speak up and speak my mind when I saw something that we needed to do. I've always kind of hated those team building exercises that you have to do in school and at your job because I'm more comfortable working on my own. But in order for us to quote unquote live and get our spaceship back to Earth, I had to open my mind. I had to be assertive. I had to speak up. And I had to not hold anything back. If I saw something, I had to speak up, which is something I'm not really used to. I say this because usually if I'm working with a group of people and I see something, I kind of just go on my own. I just like, hey, I did it and it's done. But you can't do that when you're doing a team building exercise. You have to work together. And although we were so close, I was glad to see that I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and I was able to help my team. After losing, because, we didn't get all the way to the end. We were so close, but we didn't make it. I have made it my mission to go back to the game room in Orlando and conquer another quest. This form of interactive attraction is very entertaining and highly, highly, highly addictive. It's one of the most wonderful experiences to have on a night out in Orlando, and it's in the middle of everything on International Drive. And if you are a competitive person, then you must do this. So I want to know, have you ever done an escape game before? If so, feel free to let me know. Come join us over in the Facebook group, or you can just email me at themeparkhipster@gmail.com. Thank you guys for being so patient as we were transitioning throughout the move. And I just want you to know that you are my friend and you are my family, whether you know that or not. And until next time, happy park hopping hipsters. The content on the Theme Park Hipster Show represents my own and not those of any organizations or activity mentioned. I am just someone here who likes to share my own stories to you and hope that I can help you have the best vacation ever.